Good morning. I look terrible, but whatever. I'm all about being real. So I'm fixing my hair so that I can talk to you about neuro emotion. There's so much of it going around. I have it myself from time to time. It's pretty much gone for me, but I did have it a lot. Okay, so let's talk about neuro emotion. So I think there's two things going on. Basically, when you come off psychiatric drugs, not only have they had a numbing effect on you for a very, very long time, but then you also have this hyper excitability of the nervous system, or whatever we want to call it. And it seems like the beginning stages of withdrawal, you're in such a terror state or fight or flight or extremely revved up or survival, like whatever that looks like for you, that is the beginning part, okay? As that calms down, and sometimes before, you can have lots of emotion coming out. It can come in the form of like uncontrollable crying. It could come in rage about little things. I've heard about people damaging the relationships over it, and physical objects, let's put it like that. You can feel a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of grief, a lot of rage, a lot of sadness. It doesn't ever seem to be the positive emotion. Every once in a while it can be, but it's always like super negative, super it can feel like very overblown. It doesn't feel like natural sometimes. It feels like, oh my God, it's huge. However, sometimes you also feel like when you're in it, it feels completely real to you. So let me give you an example. I'll give you a couple examples. The first time I ever experienced it, I was still on benzos. I was doing my taper. I did not know about this world. I did not know any of these symptoms or anything. I was literally just following my doctor's, what he told me to do, and it was the wrong taper altogether. I was tapering 0.25 milligrams of Ativan every like 6 weeks or so. So it was cut and hold method. I was using the dry cutting. I was using a pill cutter. I was not using a scale. I didn't have a journal. I was doing all the wrong things. Anyway, so I went through the drive-thru at a restaurant, which I honestly don't even eat fast food, hardly ever. But I went through the drive-thru. I told the lady at the microphone, "Hi, could you please put ketchup in there for my fries?" I get to the window. I look in the bag. There's no ketchup. And I'm like, "Where's the ketchup?" And it was like, there was like a demon inside of me. Like, I got so mad, and I was like, "You only have one job?" Like, this is what I'm thinking. I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, I told her that I wanted ketchup. Why isn't there ketchup in here? Like, I don't understand these people, you know? And I got like so angry about it. That was the first time I ever experienced it. And I remember pulling away from the drive-thru like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you so mad? It's just ketchup. You're a kind person. Like, why are you so upset about something so little, you know? But I didn't recognize it as like that could be because of my taper. Like, is it true that there wasn't ketchup in the bag? Yeah. But my reaction to it was like way over the limit, okay? So over the years, I've heard people say things like, I'm one person by myself. I'm another person when I'm around other people. I'm another person under stress. I'm another person at my job. Like, it almost feels like you have like this Jekyll and Hyde part of you, or sorry about the motorcycle. I think there's kids playing, which I think is beautiful. I'm like, yay, go, you're not on your phone. Anyway, so this is the most common way that I see it showing up in the people I work with. Okay. It's like, it can happen while you're still in survival mode, or while you're coming out of it, or while you're getting your life back. While you're getting your life back. It can show up in all the ways, okay? But it's very sneaky. So let me give you an example. When you get emails, or when you see comments on Facebook and you get really upset and you almost feel like it triggers a fight or flight response, that could be a sign you're in neuroemotion. If you get a text message and you read it and it's like you perceive it as like super negative or hurtful, but then like you come back to it a couple hours later and you read it again, you're like, what was I so upset about? Like, they just said I'll be late. Like, maybe it doesn't mean they hate my guts and that I'm terrible and I'm ugly and stupid. So you got to remember, when you have an injured brain or an injured nervous system or whatever you guys want to relate to, you are seeing through that, and you are reading through that, and you are interpreting the world through that. So of course your brain is going to tell you, I'm not going to heal. This is permanent. I'm never going to get better. everybody hates me, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm crazy, I'm in danger, I'm going to end up in the hospital. Like, that is what your mind is constantly telling you. You know what I'm saying? So when these little things come up, either interpersonally between you and a family member or a friend or a withdrawal buddy or a medical provider or an email or a comment on Facebook, your injured brain and nervous system is interpreting that. And usually it's not a good interpretation. Usually it's not an interpretation you can trust. So I always feel like this is so gaslighty, but it's true. It's just like, you got to find a place within you, or this is what I had to do. Let me put it in the first person. I could not trust my own thinking, ever. I could not trust my interpretation. However, when I was in it, I really thought I could. So I lost friends, I lost projects, I got really upset and told family members to F off. Like, it's bad. You know what I mean? And now I have to clean that rubble up later. And I have repaired some of those relationships and some I don't want to, you know? But it's almost like I could not trust anything my brain was telling me. It was telling me I wasn't going to heal. It was telling me, it was telling me, like, you have nothing good to say. Don't talk. I mean, I was in school at 4.5 years off. And every time I raised my hand, it was like this weird, like, paranoid social anxiety phenomenon. I don't know how to explain it. And I would sit, like, the teacher would be asking everyone, the professor or whatever, asking everybody, what's your opinion about this news article? Like, what did you guys think about this? Or what do you think? And I'd raise my hand and just say something normal. And then I'd be like, oh my God, like, Angie, you sound so stupid. Nobody likes you. Everything you say is dumb. You know what I mean? And I would, like, leave that day just feeling so embarrassed. And then the next morning I'd wake up and I call it a vulnerability hangover. And I would just feel like, oh my God, your classmates just think you're so stupid. Like, don't talk. That's why you don't have any friends. And in a way, I feel like some of that was, like, leftover from psychiatry, just teaching me, like, I am not to be trusted and I don't even understand my own self. Like, just, I had so much self-doubt. But then you put, like, withdrawal and an injured brain and neuroemotion on top of it. It was like I could not think clearly about myself or anything that I had to say or anything like that. And then to a point when I was graduating from college, my master's degree, I was like 4.5 years off. They asked me to speak at 4 different events for graduation. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, everybody thought I was stupid and crazy the whole time I was in that school. And I, like, almost couldn't believe it. Like, really, you want me to talk? That's a whole different subject. Like, me standing in front of 200 people and feeling like I'm gonna have a seizure. Like, that's how that went. It was not fun. I did it, and I had to have my speech written and, like, really focus on it. God, that's a whole mess. But I, like, couldn't believe it. Like, what do you mean? Like, don't you guys think I'm stupid and crazy? Like, that's what I just spent the last 2 years in my program thinking, that I was stupid and crazy. Like, what, are they dumb? Like, I couldn't even believe it. It was weird. It's very surreal. So all this to say, if you read a comment and you feel triggered or really upset, all those stress hormones are firing and your brain is thinking through that. It's not rational most of the time, okay? Is it true that our loved ones say insensitive things? Yep. Is it true that people hurt us and they are not there for us when we need them? Yes. That is all true. And that's what I don't mean to say it's gaslighting. Like, these are things are really happening. Like, somebody did say some stupid comment on Facebook and somebody did send you an email and you can't tell the tone that they are using. But our inflated reaction to that is some of the neuroemotion. And again, I think most of it is just chemical and your brain is just, like, firing on all cylinders, turned up 100 notches more than it should be. And then some of it's like you just swing, like you go from survival mode to feeling everything. And then eventually it kind of swings back and then here it comes and it's down like this, you know? So for me, I'm 8 years off. I don't really read into emails anymore. I can feel, like, pretty upset, but it's not like that cortisol, like, oh my God, these people hate me. It's not like that. It's like, that was a little mean. Like, how do I write back to that email and say it nicely? You know, and I can take the space and take the time and take some deep breaths and, like, not take it personal and just, like, type a professional email back. It's not like it used to be. Not even close. So just hang in there. I know a lot of people will tell me like, my daughter texted me this, like, what do you think about this text? And they'll read it to me and I'm like, nothing. She just said she's running late. Like, that's it, you know? And then she's like, oh no, she hates me and she always does this to me and I'm a burden and nobody in my family loves me. You know, if you feel that huge reaction, look at it. Like, what part of it is true? What part of it could be neuroemotion? What part of it is my emotions coming back? Or what part of it is some hurt that I need to work on with that person? Or, you know, always like check in. And my next best piece of advice is like, take a step back. Don't necessarily react to every single thing that triggers you or gets you upset. I mean, even like people have told me, it makes me so sad, and I get it. They'll say like, I see other, and I did this too, you see other people like holding hands or they're sitting together in a park and you just like weep because you're just like, I want that so bad. Like, do they not know how lucky they have it? Or like you get a little jealous. Like, you could say that's neurojealousy. Like, of course you long to have a normal life. But it's like, God, we feel everything so much and it usually doesn't feel good. It's kind of yucky and it feels like heavy and dark and gloomy and just, ugh. I remember it, but it does go away. That's cool. Just in the meantime, be careful. Don't like damage all your relationships and tell everybody to F off, even though it feels very tempting. Just be careful with that. All right. Good to see you guys. I'm trying to slowly whack through a huge list of video ideas that I have. So this is one of them. If you have any other ideas, comment below. If you have experiences with neuroemotion, write that below. Tell me how it shows up in your withdrawal journey so that others can read it. Lots of people read the comments. So what is neuroemotion like for you? What are your tips for it? Thank you so much for watching, and please hit subscribe if you can. Thank you. Bye.